All right, team. So today we're going to fix and build out the layout for the questions and answers on a project. So we're going to list all the answered questions, all the questions without answers or replies, and then we're going to build out the design. So I'll jump in and show you what that's going to look like. So we're going to end up with something like this. You're going to be able to go here. You're going to be able to ask a question. And then inside here, you've got all the questions that have been answered or the unanswered ones. And then you can just read more and have a look at all the comments. So that's the design we're going to start to build. Let's jump in. Okay, we have a design here. So I'll make that a little bit bigger. So this is what we're going to go. So we're going to go for a questions page. So we're going to split these up. So posts will look slightly different to questions, or quite a lot different to questions. So the idea here is users can ask questions of the project owner. What tires are you running? Maybe just check the pass lift champ. But if they haven't, the owner can reply and we'll see the first reply, or in the future will be the most upvoted reply, and that will be there. If you want to read more, that will take you to the post page where you get to see all the details, all the comments, the whole chat, everything. But we want to keep this nice and simple for question and answers, and then the unanswered questions over here. So no comments, and then the owner can reply to those, or anyone else can reply to those as well. So that's what we're going to try and build. Now, with that information in mind, we now know that we actually need to have this page not called posts anymore. This will be called the questions page, right? So we're going to rename this. So this will be project questions page. And then here we can remain, we're still going to only fetch posts of type question for this specific project. All right, so let's go into this. We'll jump in here, and we got it on the Ranger, Raptor, and then we're going to go to questions. All right, here we go. So there's the first question. All right, so let's work through this now. Let me just pull up that design again. All right, so I'll keep that here. So we're going to have a heading. So let's find another page where we're doing something similar, because I like to copy paste for time savings. So let's go, I think it's in the project itself. We're going to look for probably using, so the first, we actually have to add this little nav piece similar to the images. So this piece, so we're going to add that in. So that is in the project images here, and it's called the back to project button. So we'll grab that and we're going to stick that in. So that'll go here. Let's look what that looks like here. So that sits straight underneath the mobile layout. All right. We also have to load the project. Okay. So we'll grab that, we'll load the project. I know before I said that we wanted to just fetch by slug, but here we're fetching the project and we're going to have it anyway, so could have just done that, but anyway, here we are. So let's look at that. There we go. So now we've got the back to the build, and that should take us straight back there, so that's cool. All right. Now, what's next in here? So we've got a heading here. So this is a major title. What are we doing elsewhere? So let's see. This is probably the closest thing that we have. Browse projects, that's probably pretty good as well. So let's look at search, where we use that. So it's this. So this is how we're doing it. So we'll copy this. So we'll add that in here. Add the flex in, and we need heading. So grab that. Okay, and this will be called questions. There we go, questions. All right, next. Answered questions and unanswered questions. So that's going to be similar to what we had inside of here, which is the different sections inside the project. So it'll be these secondary headings. So we'll grab those from components, project, and we can look at attributes, and that's using the heading here. So what we'll do is we'll have answered questions. I believe that's what it's called. Yep, answered questions, and we're going to have unanswered questions. Right, so let's see what that looks like. Answered questions, unanswered questions. It's awesome. Now, we're going to chuck this here. So we're going to need to have a question component so we can reuse this thing and loop through it to actually show us these individual questions. So inside of components, where can we do? So this is straight there, project parts. So this will be called, sorry, I'll just create a new file called question/index.tsx. And then we're going to create a new component called a question. Right, so what do we expect from this? What are we getting? So it's a post. And it's going to include a few things. So we're going to need to actually include a few little items when we fetch this. We don't want to do it for every one. So to begin, let's just import this component. So we're going to say import question from components /project questions /question. And then we're going to loop through here and map them out. All right, and we're going to pass in, we're not going to need this, we're going to say post equals post, right? Now question is going to accept a post, and we're just going to render out post.title here just to make sure everything's working. All right, so we still look like we're still working. We do need to set the type of this. So let's work out now. So what we need to see here is we need to see a post is considered answered if it has some, what is going to be called comments, right? So if a post has comments, it's considered answered. If it doesn't, it's going to be unanswered. So when we need to fetch this, we need to include a couple of things. So here we can say when we including, what do we want to include when we fetch a post? So we want to include the post type. We don't need to do that right now. We want to include, what are we seeing? So let's just go here and have a look at what we need. This is just the normal part of the post, the comment count. So we need to include a count of projects. So we did this recently, right? So this will be, sorry, it's called post comments. All right, so we want to know how many comments this has. If it has greater than 0, it is considered answered. So let's jump back in here and let's just see what we're getting now. We should be getting 0 because we haven't added any comments yet. So let's look here, count post comments 0. All right, so let's jump into Prisma Studio and let's add a couple new records. So we are going to add a new post. And this will be second post. This is my second post. User ID, that came from this guy. What else do we need to know? That looks pretty good. We're going to hit save. post type, yep. We need to refresh this page because post type's not showing up. Where are you? Post type. We probably have to relaunch. Let's relaunch Studio. Post type, where are you, brother? So maybe I'll discard the changes, close this off, and then just go back into post. Post, okay, there we go. Now we got it. Okay. So my second post, this is my second post. Post type is a question. User is this guy. All right, save that. Now what we need to do is we need to create a post project. So we're going to grab the project, which is the Raptor, and we're going to add the post, the second post, and we're going to save that. Now what we're going to do is we're going to add a new comment. We're going to add a comment, and we're going to say, I am using the biggest wheels I can fit, and that user was this guy. It doesn't have a parent comment, doesn't have sub comment, doesn't have likes, doesn't have anything. Cool. Now we have to link that to the post comment. So we're going to find the comment, going to find the post, and we're going to save. All right, now we have a post with a comment. Now we should see two posts. And if we look at the data, the first post has comments of 1, the second has comments of 0. All right, so everything's working. So that's great. Let's set the flex direction on this guy to column. All right. Let's see, first post, second post. And what we want to do here now is we're going to just quickly filter things. So we're going to say, we're going to loop through here. So we can do this just here. We're going to say posts with comments equals posts dot filter post. Definitely not right there by Copilot, but you can be forgiven. So it's post dot, so we saw that in here. Let's just quickly console log again. Yep, that's going to crash. So we're looking for post dot count, which is the underscore count. Count. And that is, where are you? Posts, comments, 1. So dot post comments is greater than 0. Right. Unexpected dangling. That is expected. So posts with comments become that, right? What we can do here is go, if we have posts, then we're going to do post filter, otherwise we're going to just return an empty array. And what is this? As an any type. That is interesting. I wonder why you think you're any. That's really strange. It shouldn't be having an any through there, but anyway. Post with comments, post without comments is equal to 0. Right, so we're going to have posts with comments, and then we're going to have posts without comments. Right? Then what we can say is, we can say has comments, and then has comments down here, because this will just be an easy prop for us to just check, and then that we can render different UI for that. So a question will have comments, that's a Boolean, and that comes from there, right? So you can see now we have the questions, and then we have answered questions and unanswered questions. All right, so what's next? Now we have to show the question body, and then we're going to show the first reply and then the counts. Cool. So direction column, we're going to have text. I mean, we can probably use heading here too. Let's use a heading. On the questions, yep, as H1, just wanted to double check that. So we're going to have a heading, and that will be the post.title. And then we're going to have text. Yep, text, which is the post. No, this is going to actually be the comment itself. So it'll be the first comment. Okay, so that will be comment. Then underneath this, we're going to have another flex, and that's going to have text in it, and it's going to have another link, and this will be read more. All right. Sweet. Let's see what that looks like. It's a bit large, a bit aggressive. So we're going to say if size is medium, even small possibly. My first post, comment, comments. And then underneath this, we're going to say border, bottom, width equals 1 pixel. Yeah. And then we're going to say padding, bottom equals 4. There we go. Answered questions, my first post. All right. We're looking like something. Now, what we need as well is we need to be able to include the first post comment itself. So we do this with projects, and that's when we do get project. So let's see that. Where do we use this? Get recent. Okay, well, you can see here. So we can include this. We want to take 1. So this is going to be optional because we don't always want to fetch the most recent comment or the highest upvoted comment. So let's see how we can do this. So if we were just to drop this in, right, it would be include post comments, include comment, right? And then we're going to order by. So in this, at this point in time, we're going to order by the created at. And that will be ascending. So the first comment, post comment, will be the top one. So that's the one we're going to return and surface. I'm going to take 1. Okay. So for now, I'm going to leave that like this. So that means every time we hit this endpoint, we are going to include the post comment. Now that is not ideal for database efficiency. But for now, I'm going to leave it like this. In the future, we might refactor this to be optional. So we will pass a parameter to include these if we want them. We're also going to add the ability to upvote a comment. So in the future, we'll change this and say order by upvotes and then descending. So we'll pick the one with the most upvotes. So let's see what we have now. If we look in here, we're not logging anymore, so we will go into posts, questions, and we will look at posts. Should probably just leave this here, shouldn't I? So we have the first post count comments, and we have an array, and we have 1 post comment. Okay, So we can now see in here, we've got the comment and the body. All right. So that means now when we go into our question, which is a post, we need to see, oh, there we go. So it's now returning properly. So this is the type. So it's not an array, so it's this. So it'll look like that. I'm just going to set up the type quickly. Type post from Prisma client. Okay. So it's post get payload include so it's post with comments. All right, so that looks like that. Cool. All right, so now what we can do is we can say const first comment is equal to post dot post comments dot first dot comment. Let's log that out. All right, so that you can see here, one of them has nothing, one of them has a comment. So now we can say first comment dot body. Sweet, my first post, I'm using the biggest wheels I can. That was the reply. It's my first post. So realistically, let's update this because it's my first question. And my second question. And save those changes. And what do we have? What is this going on here? So my first question, my second question. There we go. So what are we also going to do? We're going to add a margin top here of 4. There we go. Answer question. My first question. I'm using the biggest wheels I can. Then comments. Read more. What are we going to do here? We're going to say justify content, and we're going to say space between. All right, so we're going to have 2 them on each side, and then what we need to tidy this up a little. So we're going to add a little margin top here of probably 2. I think we use minimum 4 actually. Yeah, 4, and then the same thing here for this guy over here. Cool. Let's see what this looks like. Does this look similar? Yes, this heading is too intense. And this font size can probably drop down a little bit. Font size equals medium. Maybe even small. And then all of this can also be small. And I reckon we can tighten this up. All right. These two are competing because of the same size. So let's make that an XS. They don't stand out enough. So I think let's make this heading a different color. What do we have? Gray 500. Nope, that's the wrong place. So pull that out. We have to add that to the questions page. Nope, wrong one. Here we go, third time lucky. It's this one. So we've got answered questions and unanswered questions. All right, we might even drop these, to be honest. let's drop these to extra small. And then let's bump the questions up to small. All right, so there we go. So now we've got questions, answered questions, my first questions, comments, and now what we want to do here is we want to actually have the comment count. So that's going to be, it's going to be post dot count dot post comments. So we're going to say here 1 comment. Now we need to do our standard thing here. So we're going to say, and what we're going to say is, if comment count is equal to 1, then can you do it? No. Right, so let's see here. So if we have a comment count of 1, we're going to say 1 comment, others are going to say 0 comments, 2 comments, 3 comments, etc. All right, so that's looking pretty cool. Okay, team, so today we're continuing on with the questions and answers. So the first piece that I just want to quickly look at is, if we've had no comments, we're going to add as per our design, we're going to have a little thing. Let's just check what it says. What you can see is when there are no comments, it says reply. So let's add that in. So if we have a comment count of 0, we are going to say reply. Otherwise, we're going to say read more. Okay, that's a simple change. Reply. We want to do some sort of, looks like there's some sort of fading out here. If it's, so we've got like a darker gray here with a bolding, and then here it's a very light gray. So that is happening in here. So we probably can apply font weight of bold to everything in this box here. So I'll chuck that on and see what that looks like. Pretty cool. I reckon we can I mean, this is hard to tell because it is such a big screen. Let's just look at 100% quickly. Yeah, that's probably going to be pretty good. So leave it at 125 for everyone to see. Cool. So that's looking pretty good. So now what we want to do is just change the color of this this text. So we're going to say color. And then if we, you know what I'm going to do as well? I'm going to say const has comments, and that's just going to be post dot, comment count is greater than 0. Because we don't have to keep saying that here. So we're going to say if it has comments, it's read more. Otherwise it's reply. Okay, and then same thing here. Has comments, we're going to do gray 900. Otherwise we're going to go gray 400. Let's see what that looks like. There's an error. Has comments equals comment count greater than 0. What is the problem? Has comments is defined multiple times. Ah, rookie. There we go. Already passing that in. Sweet. Let's make this 700. Even 500. What does that look like? 500 and 300. There we go. So that matches the design a little bit more. And then read more. That's fine. Because I think that matches kind of what we've done with other links. So we'll leave it like that. Okay. So what we want to do now is I'm going to clean this up. We're going to go in, and once you click on a question, we're going to take you to the question page. This will be the post page. So to do this, we are going to go into the project slug. And now what I want to do is, because regardless if it's a, let me just think about that. If it's a question or a, I guess a question design is going to look a little bit different when we're inside of it. So let's just see. So we'll go question. So we got questions, and then inside of this, we're going to have a new folder, which will be post ID, right? And then inside that, we'll have the index file. So what we're going to do now is set up a new page. So let's do that. Post ID. So it's questions post ID, and then we're going to say component. And this will be the question, so it'll be project question page. So this is for a singular question / post. And what we're going to do in here is we're going to grab a similar concept to what we did inside of the questions. We're going to grab the project slug from there. Actually, do we need that? Yeah, we do need this. We're going to grab the project slug because what we want to do is fetch so we can have the back page. So we need the use router again, right? We're going to need a lot of this. So what I'll do is I'll just grab this and put it in here. Okay. So we got this so far. Might as well just chuck the mobile layout on it. We're going to need the back to project button. So this will just be from here. It's going to be data project query, and this will just be project. All right, so now we should have a page now. Let's just open this up so we can actually get to the URL. When we click on this to read more, right, we're going to now be taken to this project question page because we want a full page just for the one project so people can comment and reply on it. All right, so let's do that. So we're going to go into, we'll use a link component. Actually, we already have that. It's in the question here. So now what we're going to do, so what we'll actually need is we'll need to pass into the question, we'll need to pass the project so we know what the slug is. So let's just do that. So we're going to go, all right, and we're going to pass in the project, which we have here. So we're going to pass in project, and then inside the question, we're going to have this, and we're going to just say project. So we can import the project type. Okay, and then we're going to say here. Okay, so now what we can do is when we say the link, we're going to say href. And the link where we want to take them to looks like this. So this is the slug. So we're going to go project.slug. Questions / this is the question ID. So this is the post ID. All right. Cool. It's undefined, possibly. That's true. And this one. Let's just make that. So now when we look at the read more, we can see down the bottom. Oh, it's undefined. Let's just refresh this page and just double check that. So it's still undefined. So we got to see why is project not coming into the question. So that's questions project. Okay, that's interesting. Undefined. That one's there. That one's not. Oh, okay, that's why. Silly me, because we have two different types here. We have ones with comments and ones without. So we need to make sure we add that prop to both. Now we'll have it. So now we'll have the slug, the question / post ID here. So now when we click on this, we'll now take into the question itself. Okay, so let me go and see if we have a design for this one. Okay, so I can't seem to find the design for that one, which is a bit of a stitch up, but let's see if we can keep moving. So what I did notice here is when we're in the question, we want to go back to questions, not the actual project. So this will be inside of the back to project button. I believe you can pass in a path. So let's see here where our path will be. So when we're in a question, our path, let's make it like this. Our path will be questions. Let's see if that works. So that just appends it. So if we hit back, there we go. All right. So we're going back to questions. Both read more and reply will take us to this piece. Okay. I wish I didn't have a design, so I didn't have to make this one up. But let's try and do it. So the first piece, I think if we mimic something like Quora. So if we go, let's go with like the H1, this being heading as H1. This will be our question. But firstly, we need to actually go and fetch the post ID. We have to go and fetch the post so we know what's going on. So we're going to need here, so this is fetching the project. Then we're going to need to do post query. PC dot post, I'll get post dot use query. Now we don't have the post, so we need to just say, yep, perfect, good on you. So we don't have this yet, so let's go set it up. So inside of server, we have posts, and this is where we fetch posts. We need to be able to get a post. Right, so let's go here. Look at that. It knows exactly what's going on. Cool. Input. What's the input? The input is the ID, and that's a string. And that's the ID of the post. What's this guy saying to us? Then we need the query. Let's just see what it's called. It's called query. So not sure why that's not working. So we call this query. Right. What is this saying? Let us continue. So what are we going to do here? So we are going to return, sure, that exact thing. So what Copilot's done here is we're going to find post, we're going to find unique, where the ID, and then we don't need to include the count of post comments anymore. We do want to include all the post comments. So that is right. And then what else do we have on there? Do we want to include, in this one, when we're doing just questions and answers, we only need the comments. I don't think we need to do anything else because we already know what project we're in. So we've got that link. With the post comment, in the comment, we actually want to include the user who made the comment, right? So let's just jump back in quickly to our Prisma schema and see what we have access to. The post type, we know it's a question. We're going to have the user. So we probably want the likes as well. And we're getting the post comments. We don't need the images yet. We don't need any of these. So we'll just grab the post likes as well. So inside here, we're going to go post comments. And then here, we're going to go post likes. This one, actually, that's the entire post. So we will get that. So inside the post likes, so we can actually just say post likes true, right? Then what we need is, we also, for every comment, we probably want to include the comment likes. Yeah, comment like, where are you? Right? That's what we want to fetch, because we want to see how many times the question was liked, which is the post. And then we also want to see every comment that's been left. And then inside of that, we want to include the likes on each one of those and who left the comment. What we actually want to do as well inside the comment is actually do sub comments. What do we call them in here? So that is on a comment model, sub comments. So on a comment, we want to include sub comments. Okay, so we want those. And then inside of each sub comment, right, we want to do the same thing. So we want the comment likes and the user. Okay, so let's see. Still something wrong here. So let's just see what's going on. That's it there. Okay, cool. Just needed another bracket. Great. So now we have get post. So let's see what this does. Data, and this is going to be the post, and that's from the post query. Let's console log that and see what we have. I'm just going to chuck that into an object so it's easy to see what we're looking at. Here we go. We got a post already. All right, we got a post. It's got a body, created at ID. It's got no likes on it yet, and it's got no comments on it. That doesn't feel right. Oh, that's the second question. All right, so let's jump into the one that we know has a comment. Here we go. Okay, so we got a post with post comments, and then there's the comment itself, and then sub comments is nothing. No likes yet. All right. So we could, I mean, realistically, we could probably just get the count of the likes. We probably don't need the actual object. So we can just go into here and comment likes. So we actually want to count here. We just want count. And then this is select, and then this is comment likes. Yeah. So we don't need this. And then we'll do the same thing here. Right? Let's see what that looks like. Now what we're going to probably do is run Prisma Studio so we can add these in. So there's the comment, and then here's a count of comment likes, nothing. I'll bump that up. Bump that up. All right, so there we go. So let's try and add some data now. Let's go to Prisma Studio. Let's launch that. So it's running here. Okay, so we now have a comment, and we want to add a like to this comment. So we're going to go comment like, add a record, and this is this comment. Yep. And the user, we could just say was this one. We're going to save it, and then let's refresh and see what we're getting. So now we've got post comments. It's got a comment in it, and it's got a like of 1. All right. Let's try and see if we can set up a sub comment. So we're going to add a new record, and this is a sub comment. Left by him, parent comment ID. So what this is going to be is this guy, right? Now we'll have that. What else do we need? That's all we need. All right, so now you can see Prisma's smart enough. It's already saying, hey, this one has a sub comment over here. That's great. So let's see what that looks like. Post ID, post comments, here, comment, sub comments. This is a sub comment. Here's the user. There's the likes on the sub comment. So that's very cool. Let's be crazy and see if we can add another layer of sub comments. Not sure this will be supported just yet, but let's go. So we're going to make it, this comment will be the sub comment. right? So that's good. The user will be this one. And then this is a nested. Let's see how deep the rabbit hole can go. So we got that, and we're going to save that. Let's see how this gets handled. I wonder if it needs to be explicitly called. So we go post comments, comment, sub comments. So we haven't included, so we're not getting that in again. So let's see what we have to do. I wonder how you can see. We really want to keep going, so we want to recursively go down. But I'm not sure how many layers we want to support. So I think for now, what we're going to do is, just for simplicity's sake, is we'll just support one layer deep. So you can do a post, you can do a comment, and then you can do a comment on that comment. I think that'll give us enough depth for now, and we can figure out how to go deeper later. So what I will do though is I'll add a comment like, and we'll add a new comment, and we'll do it to this sub comment. And it was this guy. I'm going to save. All right, just so that we can render our UI out properly. So let's go posts, post comments, comment, sub comments, and then inside here we have likes. Boom, done. Cool. Right, so now we've got the data, so that'll help us actually build out this thing. Cool. So inside here, let's go heading. Our heading will be the post.title. In a question, it'll actually be the post.body, right? This is my first post. So let's just double check that. We'll go post. So the person will be asking, when they ask a question, we're not going to ask them to do a title because it could be a bit strange. So we're just going to use the body of the post as the question. And then underneath that, you'll get the answers. Okay, so what does this look like now? I've definitely seen a design for this, and I'm trying to picture what it looked like. So let's add in this. Let's just get the structure of this page here. Hopefully it comes to my brain. Flex. Let's see what we're doing with the other pages. So in here we had the questions as the heading. So let's look what that looks like. We got the heading H1. And we need this flex here. So let's grab that. And this will be, again, post.body. Okay. Let's see. This is my first post. Cool. What are we doing actually? What we want to do here, same thing actually, is we want to not use the title. We want to use the body as the header. Let's just see, that's the question. This is my first post, this is my first post. Cool, those match up now. So let's have a look at what other websites look like when they're asking questions. Just see. So usually you would have the person who asked the question and then some sort of secondary text here. Well, that's kind of their title, so we don't really care about that too much. But I think let's go with in line. So they put it above. So maybe what we can do is, let's go in here, go here. What we're going to do is we're going to have a flex here. And we are going to have the user image. So we want to copy that. That's from the project. We can see that. So that's usually in the project owner here. So it looks like this. can pretty much copy this whole thing, because that's the block that we need. So you can drop that in there. So I'll grab link. Now what we need is a few things here. So let's work through it. So what do we have? So we need the user. So I'll grab a couple of these things. So we need the FA user. And we also need next image. All right. We're going to need this. So I'm going to put that there, use image URL. It's almost like you want to pull this out into its own thing. But let's just leave it for now. So image URL, where's that going to come from? So that's going to come out of the post. So if we just go and jump in here, where's this nested? So it's in the post user ID. So we need to include that. So let's go, when you're including in a post, we want post comments, posts, that, but we also want the user. Right, and there's a few pieces here we need to actually grab. So I'll look at the project. How does this work? User, we need to include all this because we need the image. So I will open that up. Now let's see what we're getting. So we've got post, we've got a user, we've got user images, and then we got the image with the file key. Great. All right, so let's do that. Let's see what we got. So it goes user equals post.user. That's right. So we've got user now. And then we need the image URL. So that comes from here. Okay, so let's just put that here. So image is user, images, image has image, image URL, great. That's all looking good. We don't need to do this invert color, invert text color, so we can just leave that as, I'm just gonna comment this out now just quickly, just so we can see if we've got something. There's a picture, awesome. So we're gonna leave the text color as black. Username, let's just put a safety there, and user.username. Okay, there we go. So that is working. Cool. So we'll show the username, and then what we'll do is underneath here, let's chuck a little margin on top. Medium, oh no, let's go 4, sorry. Right, so got a name. Ken's asked the question, he said this. Now what we want to do is we want to, let's jump into one of these. Let's see what it looks like. So they've done them as boxes. So this is basically all the comments. And how do you leave a new comment? I'm not sure. How do you actually, oh, answer. Okay, so they do a modal. So we probably won't do that. So, I mean, maybe we will, because then we can reuse that modal wherever we use a post. Because in the end of the day, a comment on a post is generic. So we can use that, we can reuse that modal anywhere. So what we'll do here is now, I also want to just have a quick look at Facebook. Okay, so we're looking at a Facebook group. Let's just see how to do this. So it's a post, some stuff, and then just comments here, and then the comment box sits on top. And it looks like, so these will probably be upvoted. So what we'll do is we'll have like a text here, it's like an add comment box. I'll make this a flex. This will be the add comment box. So we can do that. We can do that as a component. Right, so that'll be a component. We'll chuck a border on it. Yeah. There, we're going to give that some margin top of 4 as well. And then underneath that, I wonder if we should put the comment at the bottom. Yeah, so maybe what we'll do here is we'll have, this is going to be the flex container, and this is going to go direction column. And then in here, we're going to run through all the post comments. Right, so we remembering how this works. So this is going to be post comments.map. Now that being, it's not a comment, it's actually a posts comment, which is the join. Right, and we won't return instantly. We'll do this because we want to grab out the comment equals the post comment. That's it. Because the join itself doesn't have anything that we care about right now. It's just the comment. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a component for this. I think because that's going to be the easiest. So we're going to go key equals comment.id and then comment equals comment. And we need to create this component now. Okay, so that component is going to live inside of, we'll create one for a new folder called post, because this will be generic for all posts. Then we're going to create in here a comment. You know what? Let's just create a comment. Let's just create a comment component, because that can be generic anywhere. Because you could even use that on the project comment. Let's just double check our DB. We've got project posts comment, and we've got project comments. Yeah, so we can use this anywhere. So let's just create a new component called comment. Okay, so we're going to create a component here, and this will be called comment. And we're going to import the type. Comment from Prisma. Right, and that's going to be, children will be comment. And this will just be, for now, we're going to go comment.body. Very simple. What are you saying? Comment is already defined. Okay, that's a comment type. Cool. Let's import this guy. So now we're going to go import comment from components. Yep, that's a straight up one. And that means we have access to this now. Let's see what we're doing. Something's failing here. Too many brackets. Nope, we're missing that guy. Sweet. I'm using the biggest wheels I can fit. That's the first comment. Sweet as. Well, that's pretty lame, but it's a start. So we need to work out how to make this look good. I'm just going to quickly jump back to normal size just to get a good perspective of what it actually looks like. Okay, so you know what? Do I have the simulator running? This might be the easiest way. Here we go. All right. So this is what it looks like on the simulator, just so we can see proportions. Let's read more. Cool. So what we want to do here is let's do some sort of nice way of making a comment look good. So what we're going to do, let's try a background color. And what we're going to do here is a real light gray. I wonder if there's a 50. Let's see. Yeah. What we're going to do is we're going to add some border. radius to that. Small, probably, or large, I think we're using in this app. Yeah, and then let's go padding. And we want to do 4 padding, right? I almost think we can even make this bigger, this radius, because like a comment. All right, so that's that. And then I'm wondering, do we put the user here? Put them on the side of their little picture. So let's try that. That could be pretty cool. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab text here. And apologies for doing this on the fly, but this is the best I've got right now. So we go here, and here we go text. This is going to be the username. Yes, perfect. It's saying it doesn't know who that is. So I reckon let's pass in the user specially, so that we don't have to worry about always passing a comment with a user. So that'll be here. And then what we're going to do is we're going to pass in, because we know we can get the user. What are you saying? Ah, this is comment user. Okay, so what it's asking, okay. Seems like that's sorted itself out. Cool. So this is going to be, we want to run this horizontal. This will have to be in its own flex box here. So we can run these two on top of each other. Okay. Like this. We're gonna, yeah, let's bold this guy. I'm also gonna drop, do I need to drop the font size? I need to just check that. Ken Grief, and that's inside the gray. It's pretty cool, Ken Grief. Let's just check the simulator just for proportions. There we go. What I'm also gonna do is chuck a little margin. I guess we can do that here. Let's chuck a little margin top of 4. So we just push that down a bit. Okay, now what we're going to do is inside the comment as well. So we got the gray here. So that is actually, we want that on this guy, right? Then we want, inside here, we want the picture again. So we want to use a picture. Do we have a component for that? User picture. This is for the user project. Okay, so we're going to do something similar to this. You can see there's a bit of reuse here. So we should probably create a user profile picture component now, because we're using this a lot. Call it a user image. That'll do. I'm not gonna, can always refactor these things. We're gonna go here, component. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna grab this and we're gonna paste it here. Right, so what do we need when we're using this? We need an image URL. You know what, let's be clever. I'm gonna call this user image. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna just pass in user, I think. Well, let's see what we need up here. What do we need to do? So the image, let's do this. Let's grab all of this code. So we're going to come from a user. Right. Now, let's just go into the question and let's just copy this here. And we're going to put that in here. So actually in user image. So this will be user with image. So we need to grab Prisma. And this will be, let's call it user get payload. So what we're going to say here is, where are we fetching our user in here? So we want to include this. Right, so that's what the user, we expect the user to look like when it comes in here. We expect that you included the user's images. Okay. Now we need the hook, which is in here. We need the use image URL. So we don't need this guy anymore. We need this one. Right, so we got that. Okay, we need text, and we need a next image. Okay, so we're going to go import next image. No. Yes, that's what we need. We need the FA user as well. So grab that. Okay. That should give us something pretty good. What we also want to do here is, because it's going to be generic, we're going to want to use this and supply in width and height eventually. But for now, I'm just going to leave it like this actually. I mean, don't be lazy, Ken. Come on, mate. Height, width. That goes after. So these guys are going to be, height is a number and width is a number. But actually it's a number or a string, because you can supply px as well. These two are optional. All right. So we're going to default this to 40 and the width to 40, because that's what we got now. Right. We actually can almost use that in here as well. We could use the width and the height here, but let's just quickly go here. So we're going to say height, and then this is going to be in a string, because that was pixel, and this will be width, right? And then here this will be height, because this expects as a number. So it actually let's go harder on these. This actually needs to always be a number, not a string, right? We need those as numbers, otherwise this won't work. Sweet. All right, let's try this. Let's see what this looks like. So we're going to grab user image thumb now, and we are going to chuck it in right here. And all we need to do is pass in the user. What are you saying? Is undefined. Yeah. So what we're going to do now here is, if we have no user, if no user, return null. Actually, do we care? I don't think we do. We don't care. If you don't have a user, we're just going to give you a blank picture. So let's just make this optional here, right? Because everything's checked safely. Sweet, that should be fine. So that's fixed up that warning. All right, so we don't need this anymore. We don't need this, we don't need this, we don't need that. Sweet. And that should be working if we go back. Oh no, it's on the main page. There it is. Right there. All good. So we're golden. All right, so now that we've got user image, we can also bring that in here. Right. So that will live here. Let me just pass. What are you doing? User image. Yeah. What's this saying? Yeah. So this actually needs to match our type here. That will be this one. And then we can just use Prisma. All right, done. There we go. That looks cool. But there's a mistake there, something's not 100% working. But anyway, we'll fix that now. Let's just do this. Just want to add a little margin left. So we're going to add a margin left of 4. Keep it all uniform. Sweet. Let's check our simulator, see what we got. Yeah, what does that look like? Maybe a little bit smaller actually, just a 2. Yeah. Sick one. So why? Maybe this can doesn't have a photo. It could be a different can, you know? We could even drop this. Let's see what this looks like. Oh, that's too little. Sweet. Let's see if we can do, chuck another, so on the first post, we're going to have another comment. So the comment, this was, I'm using the biggest wheel that can fit. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to add another record. And the body is, this is another, and this user, who's one that we know has one, this guy. And that was, where do we need to assign that? Oh, that has to go through the post comment. This is another comment. And this is my first post. Let's see. There we go. We got 2, but we still got a mistake because the picture's not coming through. Sweet, but we need a little, as you can see, a little margin between them. So let's just add a little margin bottom. Let's do that as 2 and just see what that looks like. Maybe 4. Let's check the sim. Refresh. Cool, so that's what we got now. That's not looking too bad, too shabby. So, okay. We need to work out why this photo's not showing up. So let's jump in here and see what we're getting. Console.log user. All right, let's see what is going on here. User images are not coming through. That's interesting. So in here, post user, let's see what data, the post should be getting logged. Where is it? Here. Post user images. So why are we losing? There's one with the user images. Okay, so one of them has a user image. And that's Ken. Let's just do, okay, that's interesting. So comment, it's the comment user. Let's just clean up this and see what's going on. Okay, so one of them is this guy, which we know. Maybe it's the comment user we haven't fetched included. Yeah, okay. So inside of our schema, we haven't actually included the user images. So in all of these, it's a bit of a hectic query. Hopefully they can optimize that. There we go. So let's make this a bit more realistic. Yeah, here's a question. So let's go to post. This is my first post. So let's just update this to something a bit more realistic. Right, so that's probably what something will look like, yeah? So, hey lads, so we have a good alternative to seeing the key fob, blah, 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 cheers. All right, and that was from this guy. And let's just see, both these users have the same photo. And then old mate here has just said I'm using the biggest wheels, completely irrelevant. So what we need to also show now is the likes. We need to show the likes on this thing and how do you like it. So, I mean, I'm looking at Facebook because, I mean, let's be honest, leaders in the space, got a few bucks to spend on UX. So they got the like here. How do we do that nicely? Because in the vehicle we have the like button, but that is quite hectic. If we remember, it looks like this. Probably don't want something as crazy as that. I think if we move the comment button up, like the actual add comment, underneath the heading here, that will give us a little bit of a break between the two. So we can add possibly likes there. We also need to be able to like each one of these guys. Like that, like. How do you reply? It just pops a new little box here. Okay. Let's try to do the comment first. So we got the text running there, and then straight underneath the grey box. So these will all be in a box. We'll put all them in there. And then underneath we have another box which holds the like. So this will be one like. Right, and then this box needs to be direction column. No? This box. Cool, but then we need it to indent. So maybe this one can live around here. Let's just see. This guy can go. This is not. This is direction column. Then this will live in here. Okay, so we're still not 100% right here. So this is the gray box. Okay, so this just needs to be equivalent. So what we can do is we'll move this margin here to here. Now those are lined up. Okay, so we'll give this little margin top as well of like 1. And then we're going to do a font size on this whole thing as like extra small. Like that. So when you like a comment, it sits here. Yeah, I reckon. Okay. That's interesting. I mean, we could position that absolutely and then have it sit on top. So let's see. So this can be position relative. And then this is going to be position absolute. And what we're going to do here is we're going to say from the right, it's the 0. And from the bottom, it's 0. Let's just set that and see what that looks like. Okay, so then what we want to do is we want to give this little background color of its own. We're going to do gray 100, right? And then we're going to give that border radius, and we're going to match that. Yep, can you fix that for me? No. Wish this worked. Supposed to fix all the lines, not just complain about them. Sweet, so we got that. Let's give a little bit of padding. Cool. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to say bottom so it'll be negative. I mean, let's make the padding even smaller. I might make this smaller as well, actually. So you kind of see where we're going. Extra small. No such thing. And then we're going to go right. We're going to go in 10 pixels. So something like that. Let's see what this looks like in the sim. So that looks okay. It's not the best, but it will do for now. Yeah, something like that. Designers can come back and tell me what they think. Tell me what they really think. Let's see, what about blue? And then color white, something like that. All right, that is this piece. So that's cool. And then if we had 2 likes, etc., etc. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go padding y and then padding x equals 2. Sweet. Something like that. Hopefully that looks all right to everyone else. So this is now positioned absolutely. So it doesn't really matter where that sits. But what we're going to do here is let's just leave that there. And we're going to add another flex, which is where we actually wanted to have the link. Right, we wanted to actually have a button. No, do we want a button? No, link's fine. Does this support on click? Let's go button. And this is going to be like. So we're going to have logic in here as well to make sure that the user can only like it once. So we've done this before. So we're going to just make it at A. And then in chakra, we're going to look for the button, and we're going to need we just want the plain, like this, variant link. Right. Just so it's like that. Sweet. This shouldn't be pushing this away, because that's positioned absolutely. So that's strange. That's very odd that it's doing that. Let's see what's going on here. There's a div, but you, my friend, are positioned absolutely to this container, which is positioned relatively. Okay, so what's actually happening here is this guy needs to live inside of this guy. And then if we go bottom 0, it's interesting. Does this have a margin top on it? Yeah, we don't want a margin top because you're positioned absolutely. What I want to see is if I delete that it still sits in the same place. So we can say bottom, we can say 6 pixels. Let's see what this is doing. That looks all right. Okay. So let's just give this is basically the control panel here. We're going to give this a margin top of 1, which is like what we had before. And that's it there. So that's kind of like what we were expecting, like. And then we also will have a button here and it'll be reply. And let's give it a bit of a margin, left of 2, give you some breathing room. I'm just interested to know why we don't get a cursor here. I mean, it doesn't matter because it's mobile, but realistically, there we go. That doesn't look too bad. So the comments are going to have a little bit of logic. So because when you hit reply, we're going to have to open up the comment box, the add comment inside of the comment box so that it knows that this is for the parent. But that's looking okay. It's not awful, not the best, but we're getting there. Okay. So let's also, what does this look like once you've liked it? This will turn into unlike. Yeah. Just checking everything looks okay. Sweet. Let's go and do the add comment. I guess, is it what? Form, container. I'll just call it add comment box. For now, let's go component. Add comment box, set that up. All right, add comment box. Get comfy, here we go. So what do we need in here? We need, people are gonna be typing in here and just gonna, let's put their little face there. So who am I logged in as? So that'll current user. Do we ever show that anywhere? So current user is a logged in user here. Let's just see where that lives. That's in the layout. Because what I'm thinking, do we need to do that? Let's look at the big boys. Yeah, put the face and then write an answer. So let's do the same thing to keep everyone used to it. So we need to have a user, we need to know who the logged in user is. So let's just go, I'm going to go into layouts. And then what are we doing here in the header? Logged in user. So this is what we need. Sweet. So because we're using TRPC, this should hopefully be cached and not make another call. So we're going to grab that. Okay, we can use the use profile image thing. So we don't need this. We just need to get the user. Session data. So we get that from use session. Okay, we need that. So this is to get the logged in user. And that's not a real thing. Const session data, session data. Let's go and see who we have. Okay, I'm just going to put the user dot name here. Don't need children right now. So this will be add comment box. And that will live in the post here. Now I'm wondering, yeah, we can just grab, let's just clean this up a little bit. Where are you? So we're now looking like this. Now, what is the thing? So what I think what we should do here is we'll have a callback because we're probably going to use this comment box elsewhere. So instead of trying to, make the mutation from there, we'll let a callback here. So we'll have callbacks, and we're going to say add comment. And then we're just going to get back the comment. And for now, we're going to console.log it. I'm just going to write add comment here so we know what we're looking at. Okay. I think that's all we need for now. So we're just going to do that. So remember, we've got a callbacks object. Come on, mate. There we go. We've got a callbacks object, and this is going to be an add comment. And we're going to pass back a comment string, and we're going to return void. Sounds good to me. All right. And that is required, because otherwise this thing doesn't work. So we do need to use a little hook here. Do we need a hook, or can we just do this to state? We could probably just use... What hooks have we built so far in this project? Use state. Don't have it yet. How are we doing it everywhere else? So we're using state here. We just use a form. So that's fine. Set up project initial state. So we're just using a form on that there. So let's just use, because this is very simple, we're just going to use state from React. And then we're going to just say const comment and then set comment. Set comment. What are you up to? Set comment. So we initialize as an empty string. So what do we need here? We're going to need an input. So let's grab that. Right, so we're going to go bang, input. Let's just see, what are we looking like right now? Here we are. Cool. So we're not going to apply any style, like margin or anything to this guy. So what we'll do is we'll just wrap it in a flex when we want to position it or do anything funny. So we can just say here, margin top 4. Right, so that'll give it this. And we also want a width of 100. Okay. So it's got, you can see here that it's got the logged in username, so that's good. We're going to use the user profile picture now too. So it's the import user image. And we're going to stick that in there. And all that needs is user. Sweet, there it is. We need to make sure that this guy never gives in, so it needs to never flex shrink. So we need to say here, flex shrink 0. Never shrink for no one. And then we're going to go add comment box. The input here, we're going to go margin left is equal to, I think it's 2. So we line up there. I just want to see when we run answer, yeah, so we'll do the similar concept. I wonder if we wrap this whole thing in a box here just to make it super clear. What do we reckon? We reckon we can go similar style, then we have to drop out the transparency. So what they've done here is they've got a flex. That sits inside there. This sits with the same background color as the comment. So it's this guy. No, where are you? This one, yep. So it looks like this, right? The margin left sits here. Now, see, we still got this thing. So we actually want to have Go away. Input. Variance. How do we have a input? Changing the appearance. Flushed. Unstyled. Variant unstyled. That's what we want. Let's see what this looks like. There we go. So what we can do here is we can do placeholder. Enter your reply. Sweet. Let's go. We want this. Let's just see what's constraining this guy. Why aren't you living your best life? So it's this div. All right, you're 100. So this needs to be 40 minus whatever spacing of 2 is, 0.5 rem. So we need this to go width, it's a calc, and it's to be 100% minus the user image is 40 pixels, minus 0.5 rem. Sweet. That looks like the input is also now 100%. Yes. Wonderful. They also have a little arrow to send. Okay, great. So you can see there that we got, because of the state, we've also got our writing, which is cool. So now we just need to handle sending. So let's put in a button here, just to match our UI on the end. So we're actually gonna have to work out for this as well. So this will be send. We need the size to be small, I believe. But now we need the width to be auto, because we only want it as big as the word. But this is because of our direction column. Okay. Why we don't need flex direction column actually. That's it. Sweet. Okay, so now what we also want to do is we want to capture the return button on a phone, because if people use this on a mobile, so they want to be type, hit return, or they're going to hit send. I mean, let's go is disabled if no comment. That's right. And then let's go here. We're going to say on change. It's going to take E and it's going to go set comment E target value. Yeah, it's like you've done this before. All right, so type. So you can see as we type the button, as we type the button lights up. What we're going to do here is though we want to have color scheme blue. Yeah, that's what I want. Right, so it's hello, comes up, disabled. Sweet. That's pretty cool. And then when we hit send, let's clear this, hit send. Okay, we've got to wire that up. So on click, we want to do add comment. So now when I hit send, hey, go away. We add comment. There we go. So we've wired that up now. So that's looking cool. Now, what will need to happen as well is when we hit that, when we send the comment, we actually also want to clear out. So what we could delegate this up. I'm just trying to think if we should maybe not control this in here and then this gets fed in the comment. So it doesn't actually really handle anything. So what I mean by that is if we go here, we can write value, and value will always be a string. We can then just say, we'll need to then control this outside, so we could say set value. So when you type, you're going to set value. And what does set value do? Returns a string. Then in here, we're going to say value, and then the placeholder Alright, we can get rid of this now. We can use this elsewhere. So what we now have to do in here, we need to have set value. And we need to say value. So we can then now go here and do the same thing. Comment, set comment equals use state, right? So the comment, the value will be the comment, and this will be set comment value. And then this almost becomes null. But let's leave that like this. Okay, let's check this all out. So type, then we're gonna hit send, right? Because then the reason why I want to do that is when we hit send, if it processes correctly and it actually saves it up, we then want to clear the value. Because that way then, you know, when you're typing a conversation, you're having a conversation like, this is my comment, and then you're gonna hit send, and then that needs to clear out. And we don't want to do it from inside the component, because what could happen is we could clear it as soon as you hit send. It could go up to the server, it could fail, and then you lose your reply. And if you've done a big long reply, it'd be super annoying. Sweet, so that will just drop that in. Okay, that's looking cool. Let's see if we can use this box now within a comment itself. So we are going to import add comment box, and then we can just use the exact same thing here. Might even just grab this whole thing, and then where does this live? So when you hit reply on someone, it just drops underneath like that. So we are going to hit reply. What happens to all the like buttons? Just straight underneath there, okay. So underneath all of this, we're gonna have this. So I'm just gonna do console.log for now, and this is just gonna be nothing. Sweet. Okay, we got a little bit of a funny one going on in here. That's interesting. Ah, okay, we have the position relative on the wrong box. It needs to sit on this one. Okay, so now all this is bung, so we need to just fix it. Was it 10 that looked the best? Yeah. Cool, so now you can see when we hit reply, we're going to chuck this guy under here. And that's going to be that. Now I'm wondering, do we want comments to, I think something's happening here as well where we're not getting the full width. That's full width, this is not. So I think it could be this guy. And then we just have to work our way through here. There we go. That looks better. Where's our simulator? That's pretty cool. So I'm interested to know why the current user isn't showing up. I wonder if that's just because we haven't reloaded this page. No. Okay, we're not logged in here. Now that's the important thing. If you're looking at, you want to create comments, we actually have to return nothing if you are not logged in. You can't create a comment if you're not logged in. So basically, so this is the hooks, we can't return there. But if we're going to basically say if no user, just return null, because you can't actually do nothing. Right? That's what we want. I'm just a little bit concerned about this still. That looks alright. There we go. Decent. Cool. Now, inside of comment, we're going to use a little set state. Right, and what we're going to say is const show reply. I mean, let's call it show add comment. Set show add comment false. Yeah, you're pretty good, old mate. So we're going to say if this, then we show this. Right? We only want to show it if you want to show the add comment box. Now, what is reply going to do? Reply is going to toggle that for us. So on click, we're going to toggle. So it's not going to be true, it's going to be the opposite of that. Reply, boom. That's pretty cool. Is that as cool as theirs? No, theirs is cooler because it animates, but that's all right. Sweet. All right. That's really cool. I like that. Type. Oh, that doesn't have. Yep, that's fine because we haven't added it to the comment above. We need to actually allow these things to be changed, but that's fine. So the cool thing here is because we've delegated add comment outside of the comment box, when we're inside of a comment, to add a comment, we actually want to append the parent comment ID as well, because we need to do a little bit of extra magic here. So that's looking really cool. So when you like something, chuck some likes on it. We don't have likes here yet. So we need to do something about that. We need to be able to add likes to the actual total, the post itself. So we could do that kind of thing. So we could have a box here, and then this can just have border bottom width of 1 pixel. No, stay here. This is the actions. All right. Let's do padding Y of 2, maybe even 4. Let's see what that looks like in here. Yeah, that's probably going to be good. And then here we can have like. What do they have? Like comment we have, or send. So your comments are already here, so we don't need to add that. So we'll just have the like, and then we'll probably just show the likes on this side. So let's copy this. Where's the like button? Here. Right, so in here we're going to have this. Do we have button imported here? Nope. Okay, so we have our like button. We probably don't need a variant of nothing here. We can probably just do a normal one. Like, and that looks a bit lame. And then we can have our likes on the other side, or we can do this guy. But I'm not sure how I feel about that one. So maybe we can have a look at that a bit later. Sweet. I might even chuck a border. What would they call this? Border top and border bottom. And a margin top as well. Yeah, we can do something like that. All right. So cool. So in this video, we have gone through and we've styled the post. We can now see the body of the post. We can look at, we've got the layout of the like, we've got the add comment box, and we've got all the comments, and then with the ability to add a reply there. And then this is what it looks like on mobile. All right. Excellent. Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Catch you on the next one.